Every legend has a beginning. Every champion faces impossible odds. But some stories change history forever. A little boy raised by a single mother, no father, no money, only a dream. Years later, that same little boy would become one of the greatest basketball players the world has ever seen. His name, LeBron James.
December 30th, 1984. Akron, Ohio. On a cold winter day, a baby boy named LeBron Raymond James was born. No one could have imagined that this child would one day become one of the greatest basketball players in history. But before the championships, before the fame, before the billions of dollars, there was struggle. LeBron's mother, Gloria James, was only 16 years old when she gave birth to him. She was young, determined, and willing to do anything for her son. But life was far from easy. LeBron grew up without his father. From the very beginning, it was just a mother and her son, fighting against the hardships of life together. Money was always limited. Sometimes paying the rent became almost impossible, forcing them to move from one apartment to another. Every move meant a new neighborhood, a new school, and a new beginning. Most children would have been discouraged by a life like this. But without realizing it, every challenge was making LeBron mentally stronger. But here's something most people don't know. Basketball wasn't LeBron's first love. His first passion was actually football. He was bigger, stronger, and faster than almost every kid his age. Many coaches believed he had the talent to become a professional football player. It seemed like his future had already been decided, until one unexpected moment changed everything. One day, LeBron picked up a basketball. At first, it was just another game, but the moment he stepped onto the court, something felt different. For the first time, he found a place where all the worries disappeared. No bills, no moving, no fear, just a basketball and a dream. Little did anyone know that choosing basketball over football would completely change sports history forever. Basketball quickly became a part of LeBron's life, but becoming a great player wasn't easy. Every time his family moved to a new neighborhood, he had to leave behind his friends, change schools, and start over. For a young boy, it felt like life was testing him again and again. Just when it seemed like nothing would ever change, someone noticed his potential. His name was Frank Walker. He was LeBron's youth football coach, but he saw something much bigger than athletic talent. He saw a young boy who needed stability, guidance, and a chance to build a better future. So Frank made an extraordinary decision. He invited LeBron to live with his own family. For the first time in years, LeBron had a stable home. He no longer had to worry about constantly moving from one place to another. He could finally focus on school, on sports, and on chasing his dream. That single decision completely changed the direction of his life. But here's something many people don't know. Even after discovering basketball, LeBron wasn't sure it would become his future. He was also an incredible football player. He was stronger, faster, and more explosive than almost everyone his age. Some coaches even believed football, not basketball, would make him famous one day. LeBron stood at a crossroads, two sports, two possible futures, one life-changing decision. As time passed, he spent more and more hours on the basketball court. Every practice made him better. Every game built his confidence. Soon, people across Akron started talking about one extraordinary young player. His name was beginning to spread, but no one could have imagined what would happen next. In high school, LeBron James wasn't just becoming a great basketball player, he was about to become a national sensation.
With a stable home and a clear goal, LeBron James was finally ready to chase his dream. As he entered St. Vincent St. Mary High School, nobody expected what was about to happen. From the very first game, LeBron looked different. He wasn't just taller, he wasn't just stronger. He saw the game in a way most players couldn't. Every pass, every rebound, every drive to the basket felt effortless. Soon, people weren't just talking about him inside the school. They were talking about him across the entire city of Akron. Crowds became larger with every game. Fans arrived hours before tip-off just to find a seat. It was something almost unheard of for a high school basketball team. Then, something unbelievable happened. National sports reporters began traveling across America just to watch a high school student play basketball. Television cameras filled the gym. Newspapers couldn't stop writing about him. People weren't calling him the future anymore. They were calling him the chosen one. For a teenager, that kind of attention could destroy a career. The pressure was enormous. Every game, every shot, every mistake was being watched by millions. But instead of breaking under the pressure, LeBron became even better. He dominated game after game, proving that the hype wasn't just hype, it was real. Soon, NBA scouts filled the front rows of his games. Coaches, players, even basketball legends wanted to see the teenager everyone was talking about. Then history was made. Before LeBron had even graduated from high school, he appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated. The headline read, "The Chosen One." Very few athletes in any sport had ever received that level of attention at such a young age. The entire basketball world was watching, but with fame came another challenge, one that would completely change his life. The biggest sports brands on earth, Nike, Adidas, and Reebok, were preparing for a battle. Not to sign an NBA superstar, but to sign a teenager who hadn't played a single NBA game. LeBron James had become one of the biggest stars in basketball. Every season, he broke records, filled arenas, and carried the hopes of an entire city on his shoulders. But there was one thing he still couldn't achieve, an NBA championship. Year after year, Cleveland came close, but never close enough. Critics began asking the same question over and over again. Can LeBron ever win? The pressure became unbearable. Then, in 2010, LeBron made a decision that shocked the entire sports world. He announced he was leaving Cleveland to join the Miami Heat. The moment those words were spoken, everything changed. Fans who once worshipped him suddenly hated him. Some burned his jersey in the streets. Others called him a traitor. Sports channels talked about nothing else for weeks. In a single night, LeBron James went from America's favorite superstar to one of the most hated athletes in the world. But LeBron ignored the noise. He focused on one thing: winning. Together with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, the Miami Heat became one of the strongest teams in NBA history. The pressure was enormous. If they failed, the entire world would laugh. But they didn't. LeBron won his first NBA championship. Then he won another. Finally, the critics had their answer. He wasn't just a superstar, he was a champion. Just when everyone believed he would stay in Miami forever, LeBron made another shocking announcement. He was going home, back to Cleveland. Not for money, not for fame, but to finish the mission he had started as a teenager, to bring an NBA championship to the city that had believed in him first. No one knew it yet, but the greatest moment of his career was still waiting. In the NBA Finals, LeBron James faced a team that looked impossible to beat. The Golden State Warriors had a 3-1 lead. No team in NBA Finals history had ever come back from that deficit. It looked over, but legends are remembered for doing the impossible. LeBron James had returned to Cleveland for one reason: to bring a championship home. But standing in his way was the Golden State Warriors, the strongest basketball team in the world at that time. Led by superstar Stephen Curry, they had won 73 games in a single season, the best record in NBA history. Almost everyone believed they were unbeatable. The NBA Finals began, and the Warriors quickly took control. They won 3 of the first 4 games. In the NBA Finals, the first team to win 4 games becomes the champion. That meant Cleveland had only 1 win, while the Warriors needed just 1 more victory to become champions. No team had ever recovered from this situation in NBA Finals history. Experts declared the series over. Fans lost hope. But LeBron James refused to give up. Instead of thinking about winning 3 games, he focused on winning the next one. Cleveland won Game 5. Then they won Game 6. Suddenly, the impossible became possible. Everything came down to one final game, Game 7. With only minutes left, a Warriors player rushed toward the basket for what looked like an easy score. Out of nowhere, LeBron sprinted across the court and knocked the ball away before it could go into the basket. It became one of the greatest defensive plays in basketball history. Only moments later, his teammate Kyrie Irving made an incredible long-distance shot that gave Cleveland the lead. When the final buzzer sounded, LeBron James fell to the floor in tears. Against all expectations, Cleveland became the first team in NBA Finals history to come back from a 3-1 deficit and win the championship. The promise LeBron had made years earlier had finally come true, but his story wasn't over. He later joined the Los Angeles Lakers and won another NBA championship. He became the NBA's all-time leading scorer, breaking a record many believed would never be broken. Off the court, he opened the I Promise School, helping children from families facing the same struggles he once lived through. Then he achieved another incredible milestone. He became the first active NBA player to become a billionaire. From a little boy who grew up with almost nothing to one of the greatest athletes in history, LeBron James proved that your beginning does not decide your ending. His story is no longer just about basketball. It is about resilience, hope, and believing in a dream when nobody else does. This is the legacy of LeBron James.